we integrate with a lot of different management systems. I think we're up to 20 currently and constantly growing. And the challenge that we were running into is that the management systems often don't provide a testing environment for us to develop against. They may give us maybe one set of invoice search criteria that we can use to, possibly pull invoices, but they don't give us very much to test different scenarios where, for example, if a payer has more credits available than their outstanding balance, how do we handle those types of scenarios? We didn't have any control over the invoices that were brought back, that were retrieved by those API calls, or when they would be due. And there were a lot of use cases that we wanted to support where we really needed granular access or just granular functionality to allow us to get those invoices back that would fit the criteria of the different features that we're trying to provide. So our journey's been great so far. So I was first made aware of Mock Lab a couple of years ago, actually, before I started at this company, when we used WireMock for some mocking that we were doing at that company. And that was a great solution, and it was fantastic for some of the integration tests that we were using, and in some cases even development too. When I came here, WireMock was very good, but we realized that it required a lot of effort in order to stand up an instance and to make sure that the information persisted in between our different calls, or even just day to day. It took a lot of maintenance. When I found Mock Lab, what I found was just a UI that allowed us to make it just really easy to set up an API endpoint very quickly, and to we didn't have to worry about maintaining the servers or Docker containers or anything like that. All of the information was persisted. We could easily set up different test criteria. It would return 500 errors under certain circumstances, intentionally return errors whenever we wanted it to, or we could test long latency. We could do all those kinds of things, and it was a very easy point and click type of interface versus WireMock, which again is a great product, but still is a little bit harder to use. We did try other solutions. We found that some of them did have a point and click interface, which was nice. It was better than what we had, but unfortunately, they didn't support things that we really needed, like response templating or sessions, for example, for setting up sessions where your first API call would succeed and then your second one would fail. Those kinds of things that we weren't able to set up adequately with competing options that we looked at. I think that not having Mock Lab would extend our development cycle quite a bit, and it would also it also increase the number of bug escapes that occur and the defects that are found by the customer rather than internally before the product is released. So I think that it definitely does accelerate our development cycle. And what I said earlier is that we actually implemented Mock Lab because we really wanted to move fast, and it was hard to move fast with these when we didn't have a test environment that was adequate that we could set up in order to develop against and test all of these different scenarios and develop against all of these different scenarios.